Iran conflict just entered a dangerous new phase. One decision made on July 7, 2026 sent oil markets on edge and raised fresh fears of a wider conflict in the Middle East. Within hours, investors, governments, and military analysts around the world were closely watching every new development. But how did the United States and Iran reach this point? And why are events happening thousands of miles away being watched so closely by millions of Americans? Let's break it down. The relationship between the United States and Iran has been tense for decades, shaped by sanctions, military confrontations, and periods of failed diplomacy. While tensions have risen before, the developments on July 7th drew global attention because they involved one of the world's most strategically important regions. According to Reuters and other major news organizations, military tensions escalated around the Persian Gulf. U.S. officials announced new actions and warned that further attacks on American interests or commercial shipping would not go unanswered. Iranian officials condemned those actions and said Iran would defend its interests. Here's how the situation unfolded. Tensions increased around the Persian Gulf. The United States announced military and diplomatic measures. Iran responded with strong public warnings. Financial markets reacted almost immediately as investors worried about possible disruptions to global energy supplies. Oil prices moved higher. Shipping companies began monitoring the region more closely, and governments across Europe and Asia called for restraint. Suddenly, one narrow waterway became the focus of the entire world: the Strait of Hormuz. But why does this single location matter so much? The answer is much bigger than most people realize. The strait that can shake the world. The Strait of Hormuz may look like just another waterway on a map, but it plays an outsized role in the global economy. A significant share of the world's seaborne oil passes through this narrow channel every day. If ships can't move safely through it, energy supplies become harder to deliver. And when supply is threatened, oil prices often rise. Higher energy prices can eventually affect transportation costs, airline tickets, shipping, and inflation. That's why even a single military incident in this region can immediately capture the attention of investors, businesses, and world leaders. But here's the bigger question. Is this another temporary crisis, or the beginning of something much larger? What this means for America, at first, this might seem like a conflict happening far from the United States. But today's global economy is deeply connected. When tensions rise around a major oil route, markets respond almost immediately. For Americans, one of the biggest concerns is fuel prices. If oil remains expensive for an extended period, gasoline, shipping, and travel costs may increase. Businesses can also face higher operating costs, some of which may eventually be passed on to consumers. This comes as many Americans continue paying close attention to inflation and the overall cost of living. There are also important national security questions. Will diplomacy reduce tensions? Will both sides continue limited military actions? Or could the crisis expand if additional countries or armed groups become involved? At this stage, no one can answer those questions with certainty. But the decisions made in the coming days and weeks could influence not only the Middle East, but also global markets and international politics. History has shown that some of the world's biggest geopolitical crises begin with a single flashpoint. The real question now isn't just what happened on July 7th. It's what happens next. What happens next? Right now, several outcomes remain possible. The first is diplomacy. Even during periods of public tension, governments often continue negotiations behind closed doors. If those efforts succeed, both sides could step back from further escalation. The second possibility is a prolonged period of limited military exchanges, where neither side seeks a full-scale war, but both continue responding to each other's actions. The third and most concerning scenario is a broader regional conflict. If more countries or armed groups become involved, the risks to global shipping, energy markets, and regional stability could increase significantly. For now, governments, investors, and millions of ordinary people are watching every statement and every new development. Because this story isn't only about the United States or Iran. It's about how one crisis in a strategic region can affect economies, governments, and everyday lives across the world. Whether this crisis ends through diplomacy or grows into something much larger, the decisions made in the coming days could shape the future of the Middle East and the global economy. If you enjoyed this fact-based breakdown, subscribe to Unknown Insider for more documentaries on geopolitics, global conflicts, and the stories shaping our world. Thanks for watching.